All right, good morning. We've got a fairly green market. Genus having a good day. Donkey Kong having a good day. Tesla up a little bit. Roku. Everything's up a little bit. NASDAQ is flat to down. Morning, Rob. And not much down here, except for MJ. Starbucks, RH. Okay. All right, so yesterday, volume fairly heavy. Not too bad. AMD up 1%. AMD was up like 2 or 3% yesterday. Looks like it closed the day a little bit off the highs, a little more than a little bit off the highs. Filling that gap in here today, still below the high of 77 and a quarter, but above the close from yesterday. So we'll see what it brings. So far, nothing super bullish. The volume's good, but kind of mixed because of the where it closed at. NIO, that's not NIO. Let's see. Ooh, NIO with a not so great day yesterday. Spike down, nothing too crazy though. Still within trend. Amazon, that is not Amazon. That is Amazon. All right, so far still below its 50-day moving average. So not super good. Didn't really break it. So it's going to come back. Just has to bide its time with everything else. Pretty I guess standard stuff. Nothing super exciting. Rob, what you got for us? You're our exciting segment. He's probably driving though. You're driving. It's disappointing, Rob. I expect better from you. Expect better, Rob. All right, so Tesla bouncing out of that low yesterday, hitting that 50-day once again. We bounced up. Volume was actually the same. We've had this same super high kind of volume for a while in Tesla. You can see right here under accumulation, heavy accumulation. You know what I wonder? Excuse me. Okay, so Tesla volume increasing to now where we're pretty high forever. We have noted that Apple now has really low volume compared to where it was back in '05 to '09, '08. It looks like. And during that time period, Tesla was basically in a major uptrend. Then it took a level down. You still went up, and actually seeing a little bit more distribution. Actually, I think I saw Warren Buffett buying. Apparently, Warren Buffett has over $100 billion worth of Apple right now, which I think is, yeah, quite interesting. If you look at Warren Buffett's portfolio, it does not look like Warren Buffett's portfolio. I'm gonna pull it up here. I don't know why my web browser decided to get all funky on me. CNBC has a Buffett tracker. It's pretty interesting. Come on. Come on. There you go. Good boy. No, not yet. Still loading? Oh, I thought I was in the... Another link to click. There we go. Good boy. So Warren Buffett, $108 billion of freaking Apple. That is a big bite of Apple. That dwarfs his Bank of America and Coca-Cola and American Express. Those are like some of his most famous purchases. Amazon, which you would think he would be in Amazon, is only 1.6 billion, so a very small. Apple's almost half of his portfolio, which is quite amazing, which is a little bit scary for Warren and for Apple. But at the same time, they are the most profitable business on the planet. So it does make a little bit of sense. Obviously, we know he's divulged or divested from the airlines and whatever else he had that was kind of in that space. And everyone's making a big deal about that. Everyone's also making a big deal about his Barrick Gold purchase, which is only $500 million. Which, keep in mind, 1% of his portfolio would be $2 billion. So it's a quarter of 1% of his portfolio. So I don't think it's a huge issue. I don't think it's a huge issue going on right there. But anyway, yeah. So Apple, a huge portion of Warren Buffett's portfolio, and Amazon. He should be piling into Amazon. I don't know why he's not. I mean, Warren Buffett looks for companies with a competitive advantage, companies that can't be supplanted easily, are going to be in American lexicons for generations, and Amazon's not going anywhere either. So, but anyway, so Apple with big volume. So you see here we have little volume, then we have big volume. Tesla looks like we're starting this big volume trend. We maybe are about here. So that's only, 8,000% increase. So why don't you pull your little handy dandy calculator out and what is 8,000%? It's 80. Yeah, so just take whatever your portfolio balance is, multiply it by 80, and maybe that's the future in 20 years for or 15 years or so for Tesla. I'm going to do mine right now. That's a lot. Oh no, wait, that's way too much. Somehow I have a leftover 100 that I'm multiplying by, and that figure is what is large. Okay, that's still really good. So I'm not saying that is the future, but times the current price. What's the current price? Like 400, 450? I'll say 450 times 80. 36,000. 36,000. I'm not saying that is the future, but hell, no one thought Apple would get to fucking $2 trillion. So I don't know what that put Tesla's valuation at, but it's a lot. It's 80 times whatever it is currently. So 400 times 80. 32,000. I don't know how many zeros to put. I'm not. I guess that's 32 billion. Oh no, 3.2 trillion. Or is that 32 trillion? It's probably 32 trillion. That's a lot. I gotta admit, that's a lot. But when no one was thinking 2 trillion when Apple was at like 100 billion. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm not. That's a scary game to play. But regardless, my whole point is that Tesla right now is starting to get this high volume overall. Like on these weeks, you go from basically no volume and no institutional interest in Tesla to institutions getting interested here, right? And then now they're getting really interested here. And so I'm just going back to the big leaders from the last, 20 years. And here you got Apple with kind of that increasing volume sentiment before it decreases after, it looks like 2015, 2016. They get their fill of it in 20 or whatever year this is, 2009. And then it's kind of smooth sailing. Amazon has, yeah, that's Amazon. Kind of a similar curve. A little similar, not exact. You can see we go low volume. We're a little bit heavier volume here, but pretty heavy volume. You get heavier here for a bit, this whole area. And then once it gets low volume, it just kind of creeps up. ISRG's been a leader for a long time. So there's its expansive run up right here. ISRG with a 700% move right there for 3 years, and then a 200% move for 1 year after a middle base. Very similar look to it. It has a FUD area where it does weird for a couple of years, but then you can see it just continues on. So ISRG with the same similar thing to Tesla. You actually have next to no volume. You've got medium volume, then you've got high volume. And then you go, and then it chops around for a bit, and then it just goes on non-scary rallies from there up into where we are here. The solar sector, oh, I don't know. I don't remember all those names. I can look at First Solar, Sun Power. They look like horrible garbage. What else? I don't know. I need some names. So Tesla looks like it's forming one of those kind of middle range bases right now. Maybe a larger base to break out from 500 and maybe up into the 1,000, 2,000 level. Actually looks very similar to that ISRG chart in terms of what it's doing right now. Let's look at that. Looking a little similar to this. This one based for over a year, about a year. This one based for about a year. Not sure not sure if that's our future or not, but does appear to be a base here it broke out of. One of my long-term turnaround plays, and then it goes on for a beautiful run for a lot. A bubble? A bubble? Wrong question. Bad question. Won't say it's a dumb question. Don't worry about bubbles. You want a bubble. You want a bubble. Everybody's here trading for a bubble. You want 2009, or you want 1999. You just don't want 2001. That's the thing, is that everybody. Yeah, I mean, we were just down at $50. Now we're at 420. So already it's been within a year. It's 10x basically. Um, 1,000, 2,000. If you're looking for something to pop and just come back down, I mean, when I was short for sure, um, never, never. I mean, you have to keep in mind. I mean, look. It depends on what you're doing. It really just depends on what you're doing. Like when would you short Apple? Let me ask you that. you've had two, three, arguably three good shorting opportunities in the past 5 years. If you go out further than that, you'll get a few more. Apple's a company that grows at about 30% a year. Obviously, they make a ton of cash. Tesla does not, but they grow at 30% a year. They've been doing that for like 20 years, which is why they're so exponentially higher. Um, but if you're looking to short, you really only have three good shorting opportunities, and they've actually all come in the last 2 years with the bear markets. And so you would have shorted anything during that time. It wasn't a specific name. And if you look at your larger growth companies, which is, you know, is that yeah, that's Amazon. Um, so I guess my point is that I don't look to short. I look for the next big thing to go up. So if you're of the thought that Tesla has Tesla's made 1 million cars or something to its credit in its lifetime, if you think the next 100 million cars that it's going to make over the next 10 to 20 years is not going to affect the chart price, then that's a thesis, I guess. But this is a company that's going to be growing 40 to 50% for the foreseeable future, for the next decade. I don't want to short that at all. I don't want to get in the way of a freight train. I have a feeling that I have a feeling that not I'm not saying this is you, but some people when they're looking to short, they're saying I cannot understand why it's doing what it's doing and therefore it must come down. I have a feeling that's what most people that want to short names like Tesla, Apple, Amazon, um, now that there's some names where that holds a little more logical sense, like a Nikola. You know, Nikola, brand new baby company going from $9 to $80. That's pretty. That's pretty frothy. Need something, Ethan? Our shirts look the same. Yes, they do. You look excellent. Is that my shirt that I gave you? Wow, it actually stand up. It actually almost fits you. And you look great. It almost fits you. Looks good, buddy. Don't ruin it. That shirt cost me $700. No, it didn't. I'm just joking. Yeah, Nikola's a fraud. Um, is Tesla a fraud? I you I don't think anyone can make the argument that Tesla's a fraud. Some people are going to try to say that, but Tesla's not a fraud. So I guess for me, the thing to understand is why do you want to short Tesla? I think that's important to understand. Like, what is the need? What's the need there? Nikola, a company that's brand new, doesn't even have a building to work in, goes up, you know, 800%. A better short candidate than a company that's built 1 million vehicles, building, going to grow at 30 to 50% or 40 to 50% for the next 10 years, doesn't sound like a great short opportunity. So from a fundamental standpoint, the idea of trying to short Tesla is flawed. Even the concept. Now, on the flip side, if you're trading for shorter term, you know, if you're trading for shorter term, this drop here, you could have shorted that. You maybe could have shorted this, but you wouldn't have made anything because it pretty much just went sideways. And you maybe could have shorted the top. You maybe could have shorted this top at 500 after the split on kind of a sell the news event. Other than that, you haven't had any good shorting opportunities. As a matter of fact, Tesla's lost shorts more money than anything else. You don't get what people find so better at Tesla compared to, say, VW. So you think that, okay, so a couple of things there. Number one, you said I don't get, implying that's an opinion, right? It's an opinion. You can't understand why people like Tesla over Volkswagen. Yeah, so you're looking to short it. What does your opinion have to do with the market's opinion of Tesla? And has that thesis made you or cost you money over the past X amount of time frame? Hey, what's up, Ellie? Love it, Ellie. Love it. Love it. So one thing I didn't hear you say. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. One thing I didn't hear you say was anything technical, anything. You know what I'm saying? Like that. What I heard from you was an opinion. It's so hard to make money based on opinions. It's much easier to make money based on. Okay, that's fantastic. What does that mean? I didn't say you weren't a smart guy. I'm trying to understand why people are constantly trying to short Tesla. And it's because they have an opinion about something. The people that are constantly trying to short Tesla have an opinion about Elon Musk or the company itself or some other opinion on something that's been formed along the lines by things. You know what I mean? But when would I short Tesla? Like, I wouldn't short Tesla. I wouldn't ever short Tesla unless it was for a very short term, unless it was for a very short term trade. Yeah. So ignore what you think about Tesla. This Oh, no, chill out. It's not a forbidden question. We're having a good conversation. Hey, are you in the Slack? Are you in the Slack channel? I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm gonna try to say it though. I apologize ahead of time. Uh, Sabode? You're not? Oh, okay. I was gonna say if you're in Slack or if you're in Slack, we could do voice chat because we're having kind of a deeper conversation. But um, yeah, okay. So your argument is that you basically your argument is that competition is right around the corner, basically. And look, all valid points. Is so Audi's building autopilot software. Cool, good. Tesla's been doing it for how many years now? I did. Okay, I was working on it for a second. I really I don't like butchering people's names. Uh, yeah, really I don't like that. So anyway, um, so your thesis for shorting Tesla is that other companies are coming up and okay. So let me ask you this question. Let's say that Volkswagen, which I believe or Volkswagen owns Audi, they own everyone. Um, I believe, and you're right, they are developing technology, but don't at the same time. This has nothing against shorting Tesla or goes for shorting Tesla, but at the same time, don't you think Volkswagen is just going to cannibalize their own sales? So Volkswagen right now sells like 10 million cars a year or something like that. I forget the numbers, but it's a lot. I think they're the number one auto manufacturer at the moment. I think they sell about 10 million cars a year. Are they going to sell 20 million cars a year because of their electric and self-driving, or is it still going to be 10 million cars a year? In the same time, at the same time, Tesla doesn't make anywhere near 10 million cars a year, is going to get to the point where they make 10 million cars a year. And at the same time, not only do they have a vehicle portion of their business, they have an energy portion of their business. They have two completely different businesses wrapped in the same package. Now, I get the argument that Tesla's overvalued at 400 billion market cap, which is more than every other automaker. I get it. I completely logically understand that. Yeah. Um, well, they don't have to justify it. They just have to own the shares. I know it sounds weird. I mean, it is what it is though. Look, from my perspective, as a guy that wants to be a software engineer, understanding kind of some of the logic that that you may be applying a little bit. At the same time, a guy that's been doing charts his entire life, basically. Um, no, apparently the opinions, the things that you're having a hard time fathoming, the market doesn't care about. I mean, if you look at the chart here, I don't see a rush to the exits. I don't see people looking to dodge the stock. I don't keep in mind keep in mind the people that run the markets, people that run the stock market are institutional players, people that think out, 2 to 5 years, sometime in some cases more. My theory is that people believe Tesla is years ahead of the competition, but in reality, others can catch up to them. Yes and no. Yes and no. Tesla is years ahead of the competition. Tesla has been years ahead of the competition. And then after what they just announced the other day, Tesla's going to remain years ahead of the competition for the same thing, for the same vehicle. Now, in all honesty, I think the battery day stuff is great, but I think it's over engineering a little bit. Personally, I think it's going to be over engineered a little bit. From like having to, what I mean by that is redesigning the entire car. But what that does allow them to do is reduce their cost significantly. Their cost on a car is going to be way cheaper than anyone else's, and that's going to give them that $25,000 car. And you think they're not cleaning up at the $25,000 price point? That's going to be a much cooler car than anything Volkswagen is going to put out at 25K. They've been at it for 70 years, and you know Tesla does have a cool factor. Tesla also is going to have autonomy, probably years ahead of everyone else. And if you understand markets and economies and the consumer, there's something about a first mover advantage. If you're the first to do something in the consumer mindset, you basically own it and everyone else is copying. So right now, people that are paying attention all see that Tesla is electric. Tesla owns the electric vehicle category. It's like a 90+% market share. And so as these automakers play catch up, people are going to see that as playing catch up. They're going to see Tesla as the leader and the owner. And if that is something that's important to you, and for some set of the market it is, you're just going to see Tesla's market share grow. So Volkswagen, maybe they produce 10 million cars, maybe they produce 8 million cars, maybe Tesla eats up that much market share. But I mean, it's a first mover advantage from a consumer mindset and even from a technological standpoint. So it's not even just electric vehicles. It's about like really good electric vehicles. And Tesla owns that. They've had electric vehicles the entire time Tesla's been alive. Honda's had the electric CRV since I think 2000, not CRV, the electric Civic since 2003. And it was a stupid, stupid car. They never should have done it. I think they only did it for like California emissions crap. But I mean, look, I is is GM going to catch up? Is Porsche? Porsche's a good example. I mean, what do I don't I haven't driven it. I don't know much about it. I think it's more. I think it's like a 20 grand more than a Model S or something like that. Look, you're gonna have your Porsche fans. You're gonna have your Mercedes fans whenever they get around to doing electric. You're gonna have your Ford fans that are not gonna buy the Cybertruck, going to buy the electric F-150. Um, Look, Tesla's not gonna own 100% of the auto market. They're not. No company's going to. But they're gonna do their 20 million cars, and when they're at scale to do 20 million cars, they're gonna have batteries galore to power everything else that plugs into your house, likely, depending on where you live. They're going to have battery installations globally. They're going to have all that garbage. Completely disagree about Battery Day. Maybe a little bit. I mean, like I said, I think it's good. I think it's just. I'm not saying I. Everything they're doing is phenomenal. Let me start off with that. In my opinion, everything they're doing is phenomenal. I have I'm very aware that VW is Porsche's parent. I'm very they own from what I understand Volkswagen owns um I don't think they own Chrysler anymore cuz it used to be Daimler Chrysler and I think they spun Chrysler off again. Fiat, Audi, um Porsche. They own like 8 auto brands, like 7 or 8. I'm not even doing a good job with naming them right now, but I'm a car guy. I'm very familiar. You're a software engineer. I'm a car guy. Kind of like a car guy that doesn't own any cool cars, but it is what it is. Yeah, Porsche's just for people with money that like high performance cars. Porsches are great cars. They are phenomenal cars. Like one of the few brands that you can say you can look at any Porsche and go that is a cool car. You can look at any Porsche except for maybe like the early Boxsters and say that's pretty cool. Yeah, but when you look at handling and stuff like that, if you're concerned with handling, the Porsches are world renowned for their handling. They're not the fastest. So they're like 85% fast, but they're also 85% handling. They're not 100% fast and 70% handling. So now we're going to start splitting hairs if we go any deeper on this saying subjective, but everything, what isn't subjective? Not as good as Porsche in a lot of circles, not as good as Porsche. If you're just doing if you're just talking handling, put a blindfold on, shove a person in a car, which is probably not a good idea. But if you were to do that, you could argue 85% of the people would probably like the Porsche handling over the BMW handling. But I mean, look, I mean, Tesla is at a point right now, everyone's playing catch up and they're running hard to catch up. They're running hard to catch up. And they will at some stage. Once hitting midlife, I would give the same opinion in my 20s actually. In my 20s. Um Look, there's a point of diminishing returns. Everyone's familiar with that with the bell curve and all that stuff where, there's a point of diminishing returns. Um Actually, you know what? Let's do I'm gonna turn my webcam on for a sec just so I can scare everyone. Bam, there you go. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. Like there's a point of diminishing returns. Where the hell's my eraser? Anyway, that's where I'm at. Like right here. Is that good? I can't find my eraser. Yeah, Bugatti, that was the one I was thinking about. And Lamborghini too. I don't even know. I've never even heard of Seat. Skoda Jetta is a Volkswagen. I don't know if that's a brand. But Bentley, yeah, Bentley, Lamborghini, Bugatti. Those are the ones I couldn't think of. But yeah, they own everything. They freaking own everything. But there's like this point of there's this bell curve. It's like a point of diminishing returns. It can even go down this way, but this is like better, and this is on what would this axis be? This is better. This is like time or hard or something like that. Some people will call it cost. Sometimes. Um, so if this is like level 5 autonomy, full electric, right here, you can argue Tesla's pretty close in here because they have the electric part nailed. Like think they had the electric part nailed. I don't think they're as close as they want to be on their autonomy. But now you're talking about Volkswagen and everyone else. They're just starting. So there is going to reach a point where everyone is like right here. There is going to reach that point, but I don't know when that is. That could be 2030, especially for some of these guys. Tesla's going to get there earlier. And so once these guys do catch up, then it's about price. Then I think it's about price. But in the meantime, those guys are down here. They're still in R&D. Tesla's pumping out cars by the 100,000, soon by the millions. They're already there. So these guys will catch up. But if you're talking to a consumer, this matters a lot. The fact that these guys are so close, that matters a tremendous amount. Can drive itself in India? Hell no. There's no way that no, zero chance they're gonna drive themselves in India. Bye. I shut my camera off. So I mean that's in a nutshell that's kind of that's kind of what I think about Tesla and the competition catching up. So I got a new look every day, Cool Sheet. Every single day I sport a new look. You guys don't see all my crazy hats that I wear on the streams. So would I short Tesla? Nope. I would not short Tesla. I would just wait for it to go lower and I would buy more. I would just I would buy more Tesla. The market giving the market giving Tesla 400 million market cap phones um or phones. That's funny. I'm reading while I'm talking. The market giving Tesla a $400 billion market cap isn't by accident. Now, did they want to give them a $400 billion market cap? No. But they had to pay up for shares that they know they need. This is what I'm talking earlier about the institutions. They need the shares of Tesla because of what it is and going to become. And it's not a fly by night company. It's going to be here. It's going to be Tesla. So institutions that have not owned it have had to rush into purchasing it. And the only way it's going to come back down is if they sell those shares, but they're not going to. Now, it's going to ebb and flow with the rest of the market. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it can't. I mean, it's already come down, I think, like 20% here, right? A little more than that. Looks like 35%. It's already come down 35%. Um, so it's going to have those moves. It could pull down 50% at some point, but it's not going to. It's not going to go to zero. Sometimes when people say, at least this is what I hear when I hear people say, when are you going to short? It's like, when is the stock topped out forever? And I think that's a question that for a select few companies is never. Like Apple, Amazon, we can't even fathom the day when those stocks are going bankrupt. It's not even. It looks impossible today. Similar to IBM going, bankrupt in the 70s. Today, you could probably make a case for IBM going bankrupt 40 years later, but you couldn't make the case in the 70s. Same with Tesla. You can't make the case for Tesla going bankrupt. Tesla 400 billion market cap. Apple's got a 2 trillion market cap. There's room to go. And then when you look at a company with a potential $1 trillion revenue on the table, um, Yeah, why I don't know why you would short it other than just to feel like you were correct in your view that Tesla's too high. So, like I said to start out with, that's my loose case for Tesla. But like I said to start out with, people that want to short Tesla can't understand something, and they're trying to prove that they're correct by shorting the stock. That's usually what I find is the case, unless you've got some kind of 5-page dossier on why Tesla is a Ponzi scheme, which I'm sure you don't, but I've seen them. So I've seen I've seen some of those, and I'm like, yeah, it makes no. Actually, I saw one not too long ago, a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, I saw one where this dude put out a thing about Tesla's a fraud and a scam and all that stuff, and I'm like, man, these guys they're hunting for every little negative thing. We all know Tesla is fundamentally too high, but technically and historically, no one cared about it. Just so you know, yeah, exactly, no one cared about it. That's what I'm saying is that the institutions have had to play catch up and have had to buy shares in tremendous fashion. So now, anytime it comes down, look, those guys have to buy hundreds of millions, if not many, actually probably many billions of dollars worth of Tesla. So they do it. They're doing it every chance they get, and that's what you're seeing on this chart with this volume right here. Is institutions just picking it up, picking it up. Everyone that's on a S&P 500 that has an index fund is picking up shares. Everyone that has a hedge fund that's going to manage money for the next 5 to 10 years is picking up shares. I mean, it's a rush to the market, and that's what causes this. So shorting Tesla is from almost any logical perspective, from my opinion, is very foolish. Very, very foolish. So I would never short Tesla. I don't see it. Ever. Plandemic. Come on, cool sheet. Plandemic. That's funny. It's not planned. All right, so did get off on a tangent there, but I was just curious. So essentially, his thesis is that the market's going to catch up to Tesla and it's overvalued, and so therefore he's almost using a mathematical model in terms there should be a reversion to the mean, and the mean should be at least in line with other automakers. And so you're taking a 400 billion market cap company and trying to take it and turn it into what probably should be a 80 billion market cap company. That's what I'm hearing in a nutshell. On the surface, makes total logical sense. But in real life, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your bias, because I've got a bias. Tesla's good, and the market is not supportive of that theory right now. So, and yeah, I wouldn't be blanket shorting it. There's not a specific price I would be shorting it. It would definitely be price action, some type of a blow off top. But I mean, it had a chance to sell off here, had a chance to sell off here, it's had a chance to sell off here. Higher lows each time. Higher lows each time. That's all I need to know. All right, what I missed? I know I missed a lot. um, yeah, talking about my crazy hats. I do not have a vagina hat. I do not have one. Um, that's all I'm gonna say. Genus will have a short run up on the news like last week. Do they have news? What's Oh, they made a sub. Okay, Rob said they made a submodel brand Jetta for China. Oh, okay. That's probably a good idea. I could see why they do that. Yeah, they're just gonna do a. Okay. Yeah, not mad at that. That's cool. Jetta's big, man. Jettas are nice cars. I almost bought a Jetta. I'm a Honda guy, but Jettas are nice, man. Volkswagen, they do make a good car. I gotta say that they do make a good car. Volkswagens are good. Audis are good. All those brands are pretty good. I mean, they don't really have. You didn't have Fiat on your list, Rob. Is don't they still own Fiat? I thought they did. Why am I wearing noise reduction headphones? I have a condition called tinnitus or tinnitus, and when I do my streams and I talk for like an hour straight, it really exacerbates it, and so I wear the headphones so I reduce the amount of noise going into my ears. So it I don't know. I'm basically slowly going deaf, and it sucks. And I'm trying to hold it off as long as I can. So I basically don't listen to music at all for the most part. Sometimes wear earplugs when I drive in the car because the monotony of the road noise exacerbates it. I wear earplugs when I play with the kids because they're super loud. Um, do I have a dick hat? Yes. No, it's just a pair of balls. Try doing drugs. I don't know if that'd make it better or worse. I don't know. But so you'll actually during the live stream I wore earplugs the inside the ear. I think I don't know. Sometimes I forget to put my earplugs on, but yeah. So if you guys, I don't know if I just like to have as quiet an environment as I can. So yeah, you saw me with my big earmuffs. I've had these for actually I have two pairs of these. I've had them for see I just took them off to look at them. I've had them forever, probably like 10 years. I've had them for about 10 years and served me well. I've actually thought about getting like some noise can because these are just headphones. These are just earmuffs like you use at a gun range. They're not necessarily noise canceling. I've thought about getting noise canceling. I don't know. Lavago 4%. Let's take a look around. I think I spoke too much. Oh, Fiat's a separate brand with Chrysler. Oh, they spun Fiat off with Chrysler. That means they don't like them. That's funny. Do we buy Genus? I wasn't too mad. Not guns. I really wasn't too mad at the Genus chart generally. Um, yeah, it has a higher low, nice consolidation. A couple of really good pocket pivots in here. I'm really not too mad at it. I mean, I guess if you want to throw some cash at it and let it sit there for a while, does this thing have options? Oh, it's got options. Holy crap. Wow. That would be a great way to play this. Look at a 2023 50 cent option. It's at 124. If you can get it for a dollar something, and you're getting a pretty decent discount. I'd have to do the math on that. But anyway, you can check it out with the stock shed. Uh, yeah, you can play this with options going out for a long time. They got 2023 options on Genus. Dang, look at that. That seems a bit aggressive. But yeah, I'm not too mad at this. I mean, I'm not too mad at it generally. I'm like I don't think I would buy it, but I don't like stuff down at a dollar. At the same time, some of those options, if I could spend like if I could blow $1,000 and that maybe turn into like $100,000, that'd be kind of fun. All right, what are some of the other ones that I missed here? So anyway, Sabode, yeah, that was kind of my thing on Tesla. I know it's long-winded. I know I have the floor. I'd like to listen more than I like to speak, especially in these situations where I'm trying to understand. Um, that's where I'm coming from. If you like maybe on Monday or something, if you still want to talk about it, if you sign up for the Slack chat room, we can do a voice chat, and then we can just scream and yell at each other and call each other idiots for like 10 minutes just be like cable news. It'll be exactly like cable news. We can just yell at each other all the time. That's progress, my friends. All right, so Gene is 20% today. Let's go down the actionable list here. NCLH, Nikola, Peloton, 7% today. Pretty good. Kind of chopping around. Volume diminishing a little bit. Myrna. Donkey Kong holding up really nicely yesterday, testing the breakout point. That could have been an entry opportunity. ISRG sideways. Okta. How's Okta doing? Haven't seen Okta in a while. Not too bad. Had a good run up here out of a long-term turnaround, but it's been stagnant here for the past while. Do see some selling pressure step in. Not a lot of upward momentum, unfortunately. DT Beyond Meat still not looking too bad. Looks like it's handling out, maybe, in some type of a cup and handle pattern. Some type. It's basically a cup and handle pattern. No handle yet on the weekly. A handle would be a red week on the weekly. That would essentially make that a handle. So there's Tesla, Winnebago. Oh, I got to figure out what Tesla option I'm going to sell. We'll do that in a little bit. So much Tesla, so little time. BEP going for all-time highs, it looks like. If you guys don't know what BEP is, we covered this a lot, actually, towards the beginning of the year. And they make renewable energy for utilities essentially. They go and they build the plants, and I think they have some leasing things too or something like that. But really, really cool stuff. Just government spending tons of money on this stuff, and so BEP been pretty good for a while. ServiceNow holding up good against the 50-day moving average. Probably will get moving at some stage. Man, look at that thing. Going from $30 to $470. It's pretty good. Looks like working on a flat base, maybe? Yep, working on a flat base. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got a buy point at 501.92 on ServiceNow. Working on a flat base. That's good. NIO also working on a base of sorts. Looks like probably a base on base pattern, actually. That could be good. IVR, Dropbox. DocuSign coming back down to kind of a median range of the 200 level. Trade Desk, MatchNet. Yeah, looks like we're just biding our time here. We're not really... Yeah, we're not running, we're not diving, we're just hanging out. So a lot of basing, consolidation. We have talked about the election pretty much every day. And unfortunately, we will talk about it for the next 6 weeks. At least mentioning it. Hopefully not going... I can't wait until after the election. I don't even care who wins anymore, to be honest with you. I'm just done with the garbage. Just the garbage pile is too high at this point. And I just want to be done with it so I don't have to think about it for the next 2 years. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to bounce. Market, 0.48. So, yeah, I think the market's in a decent place, actually. We haven't sold off. We've had plenty of opportunities. I'm not all in on TQQQ yet, but I'm going to start walking in that direction, I think. I may buy a little bit today. I wanted to see how yesterday played out. It played out pretty good. Kind of a decent volume day. So I may start nibbling at it on my accounts. And I got to figure out what Tesla option I'm going to sell too. I'll do that later. All right, guys. Well, you guys take it easy. Today is Friday, so I'll see you all on Monday or in the Crypto Power Hour over the weekend and later today. Other than that, maybe I'll see you in Slack. Peace.